Good evening, class. This is Felicia Hodges. This is my week 1 exploration video. Prompt 1, how has the company you've chosen used social media to interact with you? Give examples of where I interact with the company and how I've stayed in touch kind of with them. Well, I chose Sons of Anarchy, the television series. No, it's not necessarily a company, but it is something that I probably have been impacted the most through social media. They keep up with their updates. They keep you on your toes through the season, through the off season. They're always constantly posting, links to the blog that Kurt Sutter puts out, which is the creator of the show, to just keeping you on your toes. Like, this is the last season coming up starting next week, and they have kept their fan base interested all the way through. Some of the positive things that I've seen from them is, they don't just constantly update and keep you on your toes and stay in touch with the fan base. They also really care about how the show is impacting, and they understand, how much people really love this show. For example, in season 5, they actually, they killed off the character named Opie. A huge portion of the fan base was really upset about it. But I believe that they addressed that upset better than I've seen, some companies address people being upset with their technology, for example, through a phone. What they did is Kurt Sutter released a statement, kind of letting his fans know, yes, everyone loved Opie, but the reason why that character had to end the way that he did is because the character reached the epitome of that particular character. There was nowhere else for it to go, and he addressed his fans kind of personally on that level. He didn't just leave you hanging like he didn't care. He made you feel like you as a person and this show cared about you and your feelings. I believe that was one of the most positive things I think I've seen. Within the media communications industry, describe what data may be gained or misrepresented due to social media listening. Social media listening, I think, is a great new tool. It's something that, I was unfamiliar with until I started doing, the research for this week. I believe that you can gain positive feedback, basically, or even negative feedback, but negative feedback to me is positive because it leads you to make the changes and make something better and more user-friendly. So in this show, for example, they found out, people didn't necessarily like that he would surprise you and kill off characters, but they were able to address it and move past it and keep their fans, following the show. But something negative, I guess, would be you have to weed through where customers or even people that aren't necessarily a customer, or for example for the show, not necessarily a fan, so they don't really watch the show, but they're posting negative things that really are inaccurate. So you have to be, it's a balance, it's a check and balance, I guess, of what's a real concern and what maybe is just a false kind of negative feedback. Describe how different departments in a company could benefit by sharing social media listening buzz. This was something that I completely agreed with Mike Moran on. With social media listening, you get a full aspect. So let's utilize Facebook, for example, because that's something that I'm really familiar with. I utilize Facebook on a daily basis. So on Facebook, let's say that I went out and bought a brand new phone. Well, with my phone, I'm on my Facebook, I'm very, very vocal. So if I have a negative thing about this brand new phone I got that was talked up so much and it was so awesome, but there's a huge problem, for example, with the Apple iPhone when it first came out with the 4, when you put a case on it, well, it didn't receive signal, and the reason for that was a flaw in the design of the phone. The metal piece that goes all the way around the phone is the antenna. So when they were putting on cases, it was canceling out the antenna. There was no way to get a phone. So I believe that when you share as a company, you have your social media department who gets all of this information directly. If they share it with technical support and if they share it with customer service, that can be addressed by those departments to help their customers. And vice versa, if technical support comes up with something that's brand new and it's helping this issue, they can give it to their media department, and their media department can debut it on their different social sites to get ahead of it and share with their customers, so it looks like they're more concerned about the customers. So I think it's kind of a check and balance there as well. You get your feedback and you get these things, and if you share them, a company as a whole can utilize this tool to new heights. With us at my design and graphics firm, we don't really utilize all of these opportunities through social media, which we should, because for us directly, we could have found out, for example, the municipalities and the police departments have moved, a lot of them, the trend is moving to a more artistic design. They're kind of in competition with each other on that. So if we would have gotten this feedback via social media, we could have been a little bit ahead of the game, and we wouldn't necessarily be just now in the last few months finding out about this new trend that's happening in the municipalities and the graphic side of things. Because of advancements in technology, social media is available on many different platforms: computers, tablets, smartphones. Give an example of how you've experienced this with the company you chose to highlight above. With Sons of Anarchy, like I said, I am a Facebook user daily. So I have the Facebook app on my phone. I constantly get those checks from Sons. I'm constantly searching and looking for what they've put up, because we're getting ready for the new season and I want to be right there with everyone else. I want to be up on that knowledge. Also, they have a mobile app that they created, and I actually downloaded and utilize. And something that's great about that app is they help their fan base be more in touch with the show, because you get to take virtual tours of the sets. You get to get a little bit more of the backstory for the different characters. They post video teasers as well into the app. They give you more in depth of the different aspects of the show. It's great for me just because I get to see more of my favorite show, and I get to feel like I'm more a part of it. Whereas if they didn't have these things, I wouldn't see some of that stuff. That's all I have for this evening. Thank you guys. I hope you enjoyed my video, and I look forward to the rest of this class.